What if one product can make you financially free? So I can recall my big breakthrough in business, and it's a while ago, where I was selling one product, and this product was a box, and I called this the business in a box. It was 8 binders, 8 DVDs, and 8 CDs, and basically what it was a course on how to build your business online. I launched this box in 2007, and in the first year I did around 500 sales of a 2,000 euro box, and 500 sales of a 2,000 euro box is €1 million. And back in 2007, I mean, still today it's a lot of money, but back in 2007 that was unbelievable. It was crazy, and it changed my life. Like in 2005, I didn't even have $1,000 in my bank account, and then 18 months later, I made my first €1 million with one product. So if you're a creative like I am, you probably have this tendency to create new products all the time. So you have this new idea, and okay, this is going to be a new product. So you're launching a lot of different products all the time. And I've been there multiple times, and it's exciting, it's cool, it's inspiring, it's this new dopamine rush of creating something new, and it feels like we need that to really become successful. However, the opposite is oftentimes true. If you look at Steve Jobs, for example, when he got kicked out of Apple and he came back to Apple, Apple had I think 250 or 350 different products. And he said, okay, we gotta minimize to a maximum of 10 different products. And that's when Apple started making money again. Same thing for me. In 2007, did my first €1 million, and then I got excited. Then I thought, like, I know everything. Everything that I touch turns into gold. And I had this new phrase, and this phrase was, you don't have a business if you don't have a back end. And with a back end, I meant like multiple courses, upsells, everything, which made sense. So in 2008, I created a lot of different products. I had the business in a box, then I had the business in a bag with a travel bag. I thought that was a good idea. We actually got refunds from people who didn't like the travel bag. And in the bag, it had DVDs, binders, and CDs. I had a dropshipping course with like 16 different DVDs where I teach people how to do dropshipping, 2008, OG. I had the Momentum Method, which was a personal development course. I had the Entrepreneur Starter Kit, DVDs, CDs, everything. I had a membership, Power Sellers Premium, €97 a month. I had a personal development membership, Power Goals Premium, €15 a month. I launched all these different products, and I did events and everything. And this was 2008, and I grew my business from one right-hand man up to 17 people. And at the end of the year, I was stressed out, I was burned out, and I looked at my bank account multiple times because I couldn't afford my bills. I couldn't afford my taxes. And how could this be? Like in 2007, I made €1 million with one product, 500 boxes I sold, and it was €1 million. And in 2008, I launched like 8 or 10 different products, and I worked my back end off and to create a back end. And overall, I made again like around €1 million. However, I didn't make any money. I couldn't afford my bills, couldn't afford my taxes, couldn't afford my team anymore. And I grew from a freedom lifestyle to a bigger business, 17 employees, and a lot of stress. And then at the end of the year, I made this decision. I thought I'm going to do something that I've never done before. Yes, I looked at my bank account because I need to pay all those bills, but I never really looked at the numbers. And then I looked at the numbers and I saw like, okay, we made around €1 million this year. Got 17 employees now. How did we make that €1 million? Like, which products were most successful? And then I realized, when I looked at the numbers, out of €1 million, like 650 or 700,000 came from one product. And that was the business in a box that I sold the year before, or that I launched the year before. And it just sold very easily. A lot of people wanted to buy that box, but not a lot of people wanted to buy all these other different products. So I made most of my money with one product, but we created like 10 products. And then I had to make this tough decision. But if you know me for a longer time, I always say, if you're willing to make the tough decisions, life becomes easy. But if you're not willing to make, or if you only want to make the easy decisions, life will become tough. So I made the decision, just imagine this, imagine putting a year's work, all these DVDs, all these CDs, all these binders, hundreds of hours, working till 3 a.m. in the morning, all these launches, all that stuff. And imagine just having a warehouse downstairs. I had a warehouse downstairs or at the bottom of my office. And the value of all those courses that we stored in the warehouse, it had like this, the order value of all that stuff was millions and millions and millions of euros. One box was $2,000 or euros or 1,000 euros or 500 euros, different prices. And I made the hard decision. And this hard decision was, I'm gonna quit selling all of those different products and I'm gonna sell one product again. And this product, at that time it was called the Business in a Box. This is my freedom product. This product will give me freedom, financial freedom, but also freedom to travel the world. Right now we're in Monterey, California. We're doing a road trip from San Francisco to LA, and it's another 2-month trip with the family and with friends and entourage and everything. I'm talking about 2008 when I got this insight. So back to the warehouse with all my creations, millions of pages, thousands and thousands of DVDs, thousands and thousands of CDs, and I made the decision, okay, we're gonna destroy everything. So I actually had to pay like $300 or $400 for a big garbage truck. I had to order the garbage truck. I couldn't just put it outside. I had to pay like 300 or 400 euros, and then on Monday morning at 9:30 a.m. I go downstairs, the garbage men are there, and we're throwing all the DVDs, all the binders, all the CDs, millions and millions and millions of worth of material, and my creations, and we just dumped it. And it was very hard, and it was really liberating. After the dump, the garbage men, they took all my stuff. I looked at my warehouse, and my warehouse was empty except for one product, and it was the Business in a Box. It was a clean white box with 8 binders, 8 DVDs, and 8 CDs. And then I made another tough decision, but also a really liberating decision. I bought this course from now a good friend, Eben Pagan, and this course is called Get Altitude. And Eben was quoting a quote from the book Top Grading from Brent Smart, or Brett Smart, or Brendan Smart, I don't know. And he said, you have to work with amazing people. And if you work with C players, then C players, they make A players, B players. So my first realization, like, man, I gotta cut it off, cut it down to one product. The product that's selling most easily. And man, maybe I need to also cut like all the B players and the C players. And there was literally one A player left in the whole company. So I went from one product, lifestyle, 2007, 1 million. 1 million, 2008, no money, stress, so much hard work, and a lot of hassle. And then I cut it all back down to one product and one person. And then in 2009, I really realized, and this was such a valuable lesson, it was a really rough year, but that rough year really taught me that you can have a freedom product, one product that can change your whole life. And you don't need to make like 10 or 20 or 20 or 30 or 40 different products. You can have one product, and if you have one product, then you can become financially free. Right now we're 2026, and it's 18 years later, and I'm still selling the same product 18 years later. Of course we changed it. It's not DVDs anymore because nobody buys DVDs. It's not CDs anymore. It's not binders anymore. Now it's an online course, and we've been selling this online course now for 18 years. It's the Business in a Box. We turned it now into a product that's called Master Moves, and been selling it online for 18 years, and this really gave me ultimate freedom, basically. If you are able to make something that people actually want to buy, and then create amazing marketing material and just keep marketing the same product over and over and over and over and over again, then you can create what's the right word? Then you can create critical mass with your marketing, and then more people want to buy and buy and buy. And so one of my insights again back in 2008 was like, oh man, all these new products. Not only did I need to make all those products, I also needed to launch all those products. And if I would invest all my time and energy into relaunching the same product over and over again, that would be so easy. But will this really work? So 2009, 2008 stressed out, 2009, I traveled for 5 months with one product. We have one product and one team member. I travel for 5 months. We go to Thailand, we go to Bali, we go to a lot of cool places. I buy my dream car that I always wanted to buy, and I marry my wife, and we have this amazing marriage. And back in the time, it was like really grand. Like we had a helicopter, we had buses, we had a boat. Like it was a phenomenal wedding. And in the evening, you know, we're having some drinks, and a friend of mine, he asked me like, okay, how much was this day? And again, at that time, it was 30,000 euros for one day, and it was a lot of money back in the days. And he asked me how much was it, and I was like, yeah, it was 30,000 euros. And then he said, huh, that's 15 business in the boxes. I was like, wow, that's so true. Of course, you got like taxes and refunds and all that stuff, but there's some truth to that. Like those boxes, they created this wedding. They paid for this wedding. Those boxes, that one product paid for my trip to Bali and to Thailand. Those boxes, they actually paid for my dream car. Like those boxes paid for my unbelievable lifestyle. And again, one product. So I've been helping a lot of entrepreneurs in the last 18 years to really create freedom for themselves. And what we oftentimes do is we just really look at, okay, what's your product portfolio, and what's the easiest selling product? What's something that people easily buy from you, and what's something that people, what's super valuable for people? And instead of like creating all those different things, what if you can make one thing? And that's gonna be your magnum opus, like your that's gonna be your the product that will actually give you the freedom, but also that's the most valuable for your clients. And so the key is to figure out like what's your freedom product, and could you come up with one product that can actually really change your life and change the life of a lot of other people's as well. So that's the idea of the day. Are you able and are you creative enough, and can you be focused enough to create one product and sell this product for years and years and years and years and years? So I'm in and this is maybe contrary to what I'm just teaching to you, but I'm in a transition phase. And this is something that I want to share with you as well, is that what I've been selling for the last 18 years, it was information. And of course it's also my energy, my frequency, my teaching, my wisdom, everything, but it's information. And I do feel that a freedom product, I can't really say to you like, oh yeah, create an online course and it will make you financially free for the rest of your life, because times have been changed. And we're living in a different world right now, and information is a commodity. And so maybe start thinking about creating a product, your freedom product, that actually could be two things, or could be a combination of two things. One is community. So with AI and with everything that's happening in the world, I feel that, and I think I know that people crave connection more than ever before. You know, we spend so much time now on our cell phones and on the internet and everything, and really being with amazing people, that's something that people crave, and that's something that's super valuable. And that's basically how I'm living my life. Like literally right now, Danny is recording this video, and I'm here with Jeffrey, who's my right hand. He's traveling with us, and like community is an important thing. And how can you create your freedom product that's actually your community? I think an amazing example is Joe Polish from Genius Network. He's a dear friend of mine, and I've been a member of Genius Network for 12 years now. And what he built is a community of amazing entrepreneurs, a couple hundred entrepreneurs, and they all do a big investment. I'm paying $100,000 every year to be part of that group. But you know, I've been in the group for 12 years, and I'll never leave the group because it's community. It's an amazing group of people, and so that's one. Well, the invitation is to think about, could your product be your freedom product? Could it be a community that you are facilitating or serving or teaching, or you know, get together multiple times a year, get together on Zoom, stuff like that? And if so, what would be the long-term vision for that? So community is one thing, and that's something to think about, like, because that, if you can really build that, it oftentimes takes a while. Like, I have an amazing group as well. It's called the Bar Raisers, and we're now in year 3. And we really notice now, because we're in year 3, like the value of the group is so amazing. But it takes a couple of years to really dial it down and really have an amazing culture in a group as well. So it does take some time, but if you have it, it's freedom, because you've got all these people who are excited, and they you know, it's also recurring, like it's predictable income, which is, you know, very nice in these days. I've been quite successful with SaaS companies, so I've had a bunch of SaaS companies and a bunch of exits, and that's an exciting thing as well. However, things are changing so rapidly with SaaS. This is beautiful. So, not sure if I would recommend SaaS software. So the first thing is community, and the second thing is, and that's something also that's, you see it growing and growing and growing, is physical products. So I just launched my journals, and it's an amazing collection of amazing journals, because I'm a big believer in journaling. I love journaling. I literally just, before I recorded this video, I was journaling in my 3 journals right now. So physical products, how can you productize your IP? Again, information is a commodity, but your IP is super valuable, and I think one of the best ways to actually productize that is through books, journals, card decks, posters. Could be anything physical. If you look at collectibles, that market is growing and growing and growing, and now because everything is digital, yes, people want to get offline and get together. That's number 1, community, and number 2, people want to have physical stuff. We went to a La Russell show a couple days ago, and one of his big income streams, he's an artist from the Bay Area, and one of his big income streams is not necessarily Spotify, which is also an income stream, but merch is huge. So physical products is something that's really interesting. So could your freedom product, could that be a community, a group of people that you serve, that you facilitate? And then can you add physical products as well? And physical products oftentimes, it's not necessarily about the money, it's more about what people actually want to have and want to buy and want to consume. So for me, I'm super excited about the fact that a lot of people are using my journals, not because I'm making money from the journals, that's nice, but it's more that people then start to work with my work, and my work is my journal. So it's not just a blank journal, it has a message. And wow. So the more people that use my journals, the more people will eventually get into my community, and my community is called the Bar Raiser. So if you feel like, interesting, I'm interested into joining the world of Eelco and to be a part of that Bar Raisers group, it's very simple. Send me a message on Instagram, or maybe put a comment here with the word Bar Raisers. And if you do so, we'll send you some more information, see if we're a right fit. It's a phenomenal group. It's really like, it's so great to have friendship and be with friends who are like-minded. And it's not easy. It's not easy to have or to be with amazing people. And I think we facilitated something really special. So would love to invite you to explore the idea of Bar Raisers. Send me a message with the word Bar Raisers, and I'll shoot you some more information. Yeah, I think that's it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Would love for you to put a comment. Just, what's your insight? What's your idea based on this video? Yeah, that's it. See you in the next video. Oh, by the way, if you want to learn how to become peacefully prolific, like really like, not just peacefully prolific as in like getting a lot of stuff, but like getting a lot of stuff done while you're relaxed and while you're chilling. I always say you have to win while you're chilling. Check out this video. This video is really valuable, where I teach a lot of principles on how to become peacefully prolific.